Hey guys, my name is Jared Tafta. I'm a student at North Greenville University and currently in the Oral Communications program. This is my video speech for Assignment 3, Historical Figures. The historical figure that I'm here to tell you about today is Winston Churchill. This is a picture of him early in life when he was younger, and this is a picture later on that most of us know better when he was around 40 to 45 years old. As Churchill.org states, he held many positions during his long career and was an accomplished civil servant. Churchill entered the Royal Military College of Sandhurst and graduated with honors in December of 1894. He later saw action in the military in Cuba, India, Egypt, Sudan, and even on the front lines of World War I. When Churchill turned 25, he was elected to Parliament and began his career as a statesman in the House of Commons. What made Churchill a great leader was his capability to inspire people, regardless of ominous circumstances. The source of inspiration was Churchill's own character. Churchill always demonstrated enthusiasm, determination, and optimism, if not at all times in private, then always in public. Churchill's ability to inspire could especially be seen in the opening days of World War II. He did not permit defeat, and would not entertain any talk of reasonable terms of negotiation with Adolf Hitler. As Sir Martin Gilbert, Churchill's official biographer, wrote, it was his own opposition to all forms of defeatism that marked the first 6 months of his war premiership and established the nature and pattern of his war leadership. These efforts and optimism were excellently showcased in a speech that Churchill made in the House of Commons on June 4th, 1940, when he spoke these famous words. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and the oceans. We shall fight with growing confidence and growing strength in the air. We shall defend our island, whatever the cost may be. We shall fight on beaches. We shall fight on landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets, and fight in the hills. We will never surrender. I think all these things go to show what an amazing military and public figure Churchill was, and how he could be one of the greatest political leaders of the 20th century. Not only was Churchill a great political leader, he was also a Nobel Prize winner in literature and painted over 500 paintings throughout his life. Another interesting thing about Churchill is that many of his quotes are very famous. Some of them being, "You have enemies? Good. That means you stood up for something sometime in your life." I think this comes straight from Churchill's heart, from the attitude that we hear from his biography and many of his other quotes. Just saying that, it'd be better to have enemies than not to stand up for anything anytime in your life. A quote that I find really entertaining is one night when Bessie Braddock found Churchill drunk at a bar. She said, "Sir, you are drunk." Churchill's response was, "Yes, but you, madam, are ugly. In the morning, I will be sober." I just think it is attributed to Churchill's wit, something that's entertaining if you ever want to look up quotes about Winston Churchill. The last quote that I'll leave you with is something that I think directly relates to the position that we're in today as the United States. This is a quote from Churchill, and it says, "We contend that for a nation to try to tax itself into prosperity is like a man standing in a bucket trying to lift himself up by the handle." I find it interesting that 50 years ago, Churchill could say something that can directly relate to what we're going through right now, almost definitely proving the fact that history does travel in circles, and if we don't listen to our past, then we're bound to repeat our past mistakes. Overall, if not for Churchill being one of the greatest political leaders of the 20th century, combined with his ability to inspire others in the face of adversity, we would all still most likely be under a utilitarian communist rule and not have the freedom and liberties that we have now. So I think we all owe a little bit to Churchill and the other political leaders of his past to learn about them and learn from what they did and make sure we don't make the same mistakes that we made before.